On August 18, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution was finally ratified, empowering all American women and officially stating for the first time that they, like men, deserve all the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. The fight for the right to vote began nearly 100 years before and involved decades of activists and supporters utilizing the power of their voice to guarantee that future generations of women would be heard. Continuing in the same spirit, American female artists of all mediums have spoken up and out on significant cultural issues, personal triumphs, tragedies, and the experience of the human condition. Through their creative expression, these artists utilize emotions, talent, personal experiences, and strong points of view that impact the viewer, invoking empathy, understanding, and at times change. On August 18th, 2020, the Mulberry Cultural Center, in partnership with Art Crawl Inc., created a virtual gallery of 19 pieces created by female artists in response to the concept of her voice, be it politically, culturally, or personally. A few of the featured artists were gracious enough to virtually join me for interviews to further explain their work. I invite you to listen and enjoy the artists of Her Voice.
I've always painted and drawn on things since I can remember. And I never took painting or art classes in like high school. But after high school, I did a lot of soul searching and just ended up in an art commune and have always done art after that. And then I ended up at USF for painting and art, and then then I had two kids. So after I had the two kids, I kind of had like an identity crisis. And I was like, no, I'm an artist. Got to keep on painting, got to keep on doing what I love to do. And that's how it evolved. Well, as a first-time mother, you get a lot of, advice from people, and you're kind of, I was anyways, pressured to be like, oh, you're only supposed to be a nurturer from now on. So you have to just sacrifice yourself and give for them, which you do, but you can't lose sight of who you are as a person, because if you do, you will get depressed. You'll just, you'll be just like, oh, I'm just a taxi, I'm just a cook, I'm just a cleaner. And mothers and people just need to keep a hold of their identity in life, just to be a human, to keep their soul alive, to have some kind of passion for something. So, I mean, even, my son was a year and a half, and I was still breastfeeding him, but after I would put him to bed, I would stay up late in the studio and creating, and just push myself long hours just to make sure I was fulfilling both sides of the spectrum. It went, I read a little bit about what it was about, and I feel it's for, women, it's the strength of the women's spirit. Yes, it's about their suffrage and, but it took strength and, consistency and persistence to get there. And it will always take that kind of overachieving spirit to get to those places, now, then, and in the future. We just have that kind of extra strength and that drive, I feel. Well, I paint in layers. So basically, I do a lot of abstract craziness. Let me see if I can. Oh, she's in the corner over there. But so the background comes out first, and then there's a lot of just I don't plan anything, so it's just kind of how the paint falls on the canvas. There's a lot of printmaking. And then originally she was meant to go for Nude Night Tampa, but she wasn't accepted for nude night. But and then the figure kind of forms, and then also I did a show last year with Art Pool, and I did a body art show, and so two of my models were the female goddesses, I think Anun and her sister, so their colors are yellow and purple. And so I was trying to create a piece where both of those goddesses could embody onto the 2D plane versus the person. And so originally there was another figure in the top of the painting where all the bubbles were, but she didn't really fit. So then the figure comes in, and then the bubbles are more of just like the thoughts and the dreams and like our aspirations, and they're coming, through mind and spirit and showing up. Unbound actually I did half of it before I had my children and half of it after the kids were born. Wow. So it's kind of a split piece, but cohesive in the same sense. A lot of my female figures are abstracted. I used to be a ballet dancer before I had the children. So just taking the female body and abstracting it to a point where there's not really a face, because it should represent us as a whole, not an individual identity, but as a group. And just the essence of the female spirit. And so I was really playing with earth tones, and I had two figures, pretty abstracted, and I kind of liked the way that they were meshing into each other, but still rising out of the turbulence behind them. Not to, don't be afraid to use it. Just, don't be afraid to, if you're going to hurt anyone's feelings, say what you need to say. Don't hide behind a curtain or anything like that, because you need to be heard, regardless of what it is. Don't feel bad, in the beginning. If you need to ask for apology later, fine. I know there's like a cliche or something that's not coming to me right now, but ask for forgiveness, put yourself out there. Don't hold back, I have a website, mariasmezzanine.com. I also have a Facebook page and an Instagram account. I do host live painting in the Tampa Bay area at 81 Bay Brewing Company every first Sunday. That we've been able to, obviously with the pandemic, we had a pause on it, but we've been able to bring it back because there's so much space in the facility. So I'm there every first Sunday, and then at the moment I'm doing just live paintings in Lakeland every Saturday night with my friend Sevi. So it's like a restaurant setting, but definitely online on Facebook is like a big calendar of events, and everything's connected to each other. So.